You can Google how to start a business. You can find 1,000 podcasts about general entrepreneurship, mindset, hustle, motivation, but none of those are going to tell you what it's like to run this kind of business with these particular customers, with these particular users, with the particular partners that we have. We're going to go over those things specific to our context and some hard truths. So one hard truth about leading this type of business is that there's no tool built for us. We're constantly having to take together other platforms that are built for others. We're using registration platforms that are for gyms or for daycares. We're using CRM tools that's customer relationship management platforms that are not built for our types of business. We are using scheduling platforms that are terrible. And most of us, I haven't talked to anyone who doesn't use a Google spreadsheet for scheduling just because it's so clunky to try to use another platform's process. Marketing, we have to conduct our marketing in such a different way than other types of businesses. We can't just depend on social media posts and email campaigns. We are embedded in our communities and we reach our customers in very unique ways that aren't reflected in the marketing tools that are available to us right now. Even parent communications, all of it lives in different places that we piecemeal together and we all make the best of it. So there really aren't those tools to make our lives easier with technology. And you are blessed to have the angels, GPT and Claude and other LLM models that can help us. So an example of the area that this lack of system platform built specifically for us really hits home is marketing materials. So every session, every site, every season need flyers, not just digital flyers, although we need those as well. We use physical flyers. Even if we're just making digital flyers, we still need those specifically made for each different program, using different promotional materials for the different types of programs, different times of year, social media graphics made for the different partnerships, all of those things can take a lot of time. So before this year, we were manually creating graphics in Canva for each of those processes. So every flyer was customized. Although we had like a template, we still need to go in and manually type out the name of the partnership, the name of the program, the dates, the times, the prices, all of that for each flyer. And that can end up taking a lot of time. And then we have the color version. That's a digital version. We also have to update the black and white version that is optimized for print, all those different things. So just with flyers, every term, we'd spend between 5 and 10 hours, closer to 10 and sometimes 15 hours just making flyers. In 2026, he actually discovered that Claude can now integrate with Canva and we can generate our own graphics and our own marketing copy, registration flyers, promotion materials, and social media posts, which dramatically decrease that time and didn't require as much manual labor. So leveraging technology can greatly assist with the pull of marketing on admin side. So something actionable to do about this week is you can do a time audit. So you can write out everything you did in the last 7 days that was repetitive or something that was template based, and that is your automation hit list. So even one pass automated saves you hours per month compounded over the year. You can look at different AI tools. I mentioned Claude. We're loving using that tool. If you use GPT, if you use Gemini, whatever you use, trying to use that to make your copy and to make your graphics. And the barrier to entry for these tools is lower than you think, and the payoff is immediate. And if we even apply our context, 10 hours a term over 3 to 4 terms, that's 40 hours over the year. So that's a lot of valuable time saved that could be put into other higher leverage things like making sure our program quality is remaining high, supporting our instructors, planning to scale, all of those things that are really, really important. The isolation we face in this industry is It's distinctly challenging, and that has real financial and operational consequences for our work. So we covered the stat in our introduction episode. 46% of entrepreneurs report feeling isolated. In this industry, that is compounded. You do not have a formal association. We don't have the loops, the message boards. We don't have those things as an industry yet until now. And we're going to be getting those things. But there's no trade association for us and for operators at our scale. No industry conference built for the person running the 5-site enrichment business or the summer camp in rural Georgia. There's nothing like that for us. And so this is our step in building that. So what is the result of that lack of formal and informal camaraderie and community is that we're making pricing decisions, hiring decisions, growth decisions, crisis decisions, largely in the dark by ourselves, just like feeling our way through it, hoping for the best. Maybe we get advice from mentors or paid expert help. That still doesn't compare to someone in your industry who has done this over 20 years and has faced that exact problem several times and found a solution that worked for them, and they can share that thing with you. That is worth its weight in gold. So when I was figuring out pricing for a new program that I was offering, I had no benchmark, no one to call and ask. Is $180 for a 6-week session? Is that reasonable in this market? I'm just guessing. And that guessing costs money. I tried to research. I would use AI to work with me on it. I would kind of search other providers in the area and just try to land in that ballpark, but they were offering different programs. So still, that wasn't the best way to do it, but it was the best that I had while working in isolation. Also, like an operational application. When an instructor no-show 45 minutes before a program started, I had no playbook, no process on how to deal with this. I had to figure that out moment by moment as it was happening alone. Had I been part of a community, I could have instantly messaged someone. What would you do in this case? Okay, well, I just dealt with it now. What do I do so that there's not this crisis moment in the future? How can I do prepare for this? And I had to largely learn all of that on my own, when really, if there's a need, I wouldn't have had to. Isolation, it costs all of us. It costs us when we second-guess decisions that we no longer should, when we reinvent wheels that other operators have already created, when we have no early warning system, or when things are going to happen down the pipeline for maybe some of our partners or for our community. No one to say, hey, I heard the school district is restructuring the after-school program, that they're going to offer all their programs internally. Just a heads up there. We don't have that. So someone may have that information in our area, in our youth, but we're not connected. So that doesn't get shared. And even connecting to the previous hard thing around the for public praise, it being free and it being a very powerful retention mechanism, we need that too. So what helps? What helps here is when other enrichment operators are in your network and you can quickly send them a text or an email, or more than just comparing numbers, just to simply think out loud, to know that you're not the only one that is experiencing something or has experienced something, a particular challenge. Even one person who really gets it, that changes the game and how you experience your journey. The ones thriving in this industry aren't the ones who've avoided these problems. They're the ones who had anticipated the problems. They healed the systems. They found their community and they've kept going. They've persevered. And that's what we're doing here together. So yeah, let's do it.